Hello, welcome everyone to a match between Antalf and Vincent. Match joined. I'm your commentator for today, Davey. That one trash Mania player, you know. Not joined by anyone else as of the moment, so I'll be solo commentating. So apologies if it's a bit quiet, because I don't do very well with this, solo commentating, but I'll try anyways. So, Vincent is fairly well versed. I think, yeah, he is. He can play most of the types of maps at a relatively competent level. But I think this might be a close matchup because because Antalf can actually capitalize on some of Vincent's weaknesses. Depends a lot on the maps though, because the stats that I have is kind of outdated when we'll be dealing with just very dense maps where a lot of bursts. I imagine that more tech-based players will be more in tune. So we're just starting off with the Zenze, not the LM map, mind you, the one that's like 6 stars when it literally feels like it's 3 stars. And looks like they're both being very close accuracy-wise. And it's already over with a 5k difference. Vincent takes that one. Yeah, that was a very quick map. I barely got through just commentating about it. But as I was saying, it's a pool that favors speed players mostly. There's also stamina maps aplenty. It's a bit shorter maps here and there that might be easier for some. And generally speaking, it's not gonna be... It's probably going to be a knack game between these two, because not really. It won't be a knack game actually, because of the density of the maps means you can miss pretty much any point, which means that we might be going to a tiebreaker. Just might. I don't want to curse, Okay, so they I think this is Antal's warmer pick, Pins Selena. I'm guessing we're waiting for it to download. And we're starting with the second warm-up. So as I was saying, fairly close in terms of AC and consistency-wise, I think too. They're pretty even. but you never know. So, as I was saying, it probably... So it looks like this is might be an SV map. It's a bit of a slow jam over here. And fortunately, Antal's got some unfortunate miss, just missing all over these rather tough elements. So it's saying this looks like a SV map, so of course Vincent would wanna just choose an SV map just so that they can sort of get into the rhythm, you know, as he'll most likely won't have played it. If he gets an early win, even though it's warm up, that means that he can potentially ride that momentum over to the actual game. Just Vincent is missing a lot of these. I mean, Antalf is missing a lot on the LNs. I think that was one of his weaker skill sets. Yeah, it is. Seems like he's not comfortable at all on LN, so I imagine with Vincent's more well-rounded skill set, he'll probably pick LN maps. And Antalf might also ban the LN map. It looks like he's really struggling with his SVs. He's almost... So it's gonna be a C. This map is very long, it seems. And with SV maps, that gets... This drains your AC so quickly. Especially depending on how hard it is, I guess. This seems like a pretty hard one. I think it's from Attorney. That's not a qualifier map. As it used to be a qualifier map, I'm not sure. And we're looking towards the end, and you know, so far Vincent has been looking fairly stable. Again, this was his warm-up pick, so of course he will be looking pretty well off, as he's probably played this before. I'm guessing he's also played the SV maps, which is very important, because otherwise that will be a free point if the opponent hasn't learned the SV. Look at this, almost a C, but a fairly respectable FC by Vincent. I don't think it's an FC actually. I think he missed on as in the long note broke at some point. Let's see. Antalf wins the roll, so Vincent will be banning first. Wonder what... So I was saying, he's fairly well-rounded. I'd say that considering his opponent, it might be a bit better than him at more straightforward maps, more AC-based maps. Might also be the case. I'm kind of overthinking this, but we'll see. Yeah, I was gonna think that it was gonna ban probably one of the stamina maps. But I think we have bots on the Twitch. Wave Tapper. Okay, so he banned Vincent's more favorable picks. As I'm guessing that he did practice it, and thus is pretty upset about that not being picked. About that being banned, I mean. You're going with Infinity, which was the speed map. Yeah, the speed map that has a lot of dense jump streams. It's a lot of jump streams generally. It's hard to keep a stable lag on this map, but it's possible if you're good at streaming jump streams, especially. Yeah. I was guessing that Antalf would ban SV because he's not very comfortable with SVs. Vincent looks like he really likes the SVs. So he'll probably, after this one, pick an SV map. This is Antalf's pick. As I was saying, he's a bit more speed-based compared to Vincent's more well-rounded sort of skill set. Now we're at the intro, of course. Looking not too shabby. Vincent has just a bit more accurate on this. And now we get into the real deal, the big stuff, where they're gonna have to, the jump streams just all over the place. That dense jump stream section. You really don't wanna miss. Holy, look at Antalf's act. Was doing very well on these streams. Very well. This might already translate into a win because of that early act. Yeah, and Vincent missed this. I think this already seals the deal, even though we're not really halfway through the map. But who knows? Antalf might be capable of just getting a lot of misses soon enough, I think. Now we come to the second slow part. With a bit of jumps. And now comes the dance part. Vincent missing again. So yeah, I was saying this is an insane accuracy from Antalf. This seems to be very good at these dense jump streams. Just keeping composure is already hard enough on these. You also just don't want to miss. And he's been so far looking like he's wanna finish this off with it's unfortunately not get the SS. He had a couple of greens around the halfway point. But it looks like he'll be FCing this and translates into a pretty easy win for him. It's just very, very good accuracy. I think this might be over a 1-4 ratio. Is it gonna be... It's probably 986, I'm guessing. No, even higher. Yeah, super good score. Well played. Looks like Vincent's having a bit of trouble on these dancer maps, which might bode pretty grim for him. We'll see. And Vincent already saying he didn't play most of the maps. So this is his pick. Probably has played this one at least, because he seems like he just likes SV maps in general. Okay. Yeah, Antalf did not practice. He pressed way too early on that one. But I might be ahead of myself. It's gonna... couple of harder parts are coming up. This is, though, a pretty easy SV map. You can probably side read FC if you're good enough. I think, yeah, like I pressed way. I think he has practiced it a bit because of the ghost tabs. Although that's also uncertain. Yeah, this is a pretty good map to just act through if you just have the general sense of the rhythm. Oh, Vincent with an unfortunate miss. It seems like he's struggling with a bit of the act. And Antalf looking pretty good as far. Will miss again at some point. And here comes the slow jam, which leads to the last section of the map. It's looking pretty close from both of these players right now. So anything, just one bad judgment might decide this. Okay. Vincent. Yeah. Oh my god, that was the... That's really close. I did not expect it to be that close, but yeah, he somehow managed to barely take that one. Extremely close scores. Just that tiny act drop at the very end mattered a lot, as well as him having one more miss. And Vincent saying he didn't play the map. I'm guessing Antalf did a bit. Yeah, a bit. Okay, so let's see what they're gonna pick next. Since Antalf looks to be... think... Was it Vincent? I'm constantly just mixing up these players. I think Vincent was the one who was... Okay, we're going to ACK map now. This one is pretty simple, but you might... It's a bit dizzying at times at the George Axe section. You might miss on it if you're not paying attention good enough. So I think Antalf already dropped a green, not sure. But so far, scores are still flickering like crazy right now. Backwise, they're pretty similar. Let's see. I think both players have the capability of FCing. Depends on where the miss comes though. And yeah, here comes the part where you really gotta get it to a groove. Where you gotta just... Oh, Vincent with an unfortunate miss. And Antalf looks like he's just acting the hell out of this map. Unfortunate miss. But Antalf might miss at some point around it. We'll see. So it looks like he's dropping a bit too much on the ratio, Vincent. And we're closing in on the second trill. That follows up with the jump jack part. Unfortunately, Vincent misses even more on the trills, which probably means that Antalf got this in the bag, as we're closing the end of the map with a fairly respectable ratio. Vincent misses once again, probably looks a bit unstable. But yeah, now we're reaching the end. Let's see. Antalf did not assess this, unfortunately. V1 assess, that is. He dropped a green earlier, but I think this ratio is pretty strong. Yeah. Good ratio. It could have been a bit closer if Vincent didn't miss. So generally speaking, this map pool is not very gonna be like ACK battles. It's more about who misses or at what point they miss. Who misses the more, because every map pretty much is really hard. They're going with Matthias, that's very shit missable map, I gotta say. Like every single one of these maps are very shit missable. So if you're not consistent, then you'll be having a bad time. And we're getting started. So first comes a pretty slow section, which is pretty easy to ratio. And look at him almost hitting every single rainbow on that part. Dropping a bit here and there on this part, but that's to be expected. This is not an easy part. With all of the triples, just small trills, it looks very disorderly, and thus it's a pretty easy map to shit miss on. He's doing very well on this broken stair stream, this very uneven stair stream. Dropping a bit of back there at the one hand trail, but he's coming out on top, and both players not missing, which is good news. It might mean that Vincent has a chance to pull this one off. Fortunately, he drops a bit too many greens, while Antalf still keeping a pretty steady rainbow ratio. And soon comes the second stream heavy part. It looks like he has dropped a lot of back on this one, so FC might matter if Antalf finds a miss sometime soon, because the difference is barely enough for a miss to a couple of misses to. No, I'm not tired. Well, almost tired, I guess. I just sound tired. Yeah, both players dropping a lot of back, and Vincent missing there at the very end, which will unfortunately mean that Antalf takes this one. And very, very good score, didn't miss, and as well keeping a very low green count, which is very good. Antalf already picking Duet, the weird ass tech map. And I think this might be a good pick for him. I see it's more speed based. It also has a lot of LNs that can trip you. Just generally be a nuisance, I guess. This comes from Zero Experiments Lane, which, if you haven't watched, it's a very good show, but it's very just trippy, just as the song itself. This one, this isn't directly from the actual show, it's a remix of the intro. Some very tricky rhythms as well. Vincent already finding a miss at probably the easiest section. Dropping a bit here and there, but both players are looking pretty stable. Both are bleeding a lot of back, but Antalf looks like he's bleeding less than Vincent is right now, and that first miss also really hurts him. Oh, and yeah, up comes the just very bursty and tricky to read specialist section. Both players are looking to. Oh, fortunately, Vincent misses at that Allen wall, which means that it's gonna be a easy win for Antalf. And a potential FC. Yeah, this is an FC. Okay. Very respectable score. And very, very good ratio too. Okay, so Vincent is gonna pick a Hail Mary, I guess. Since it seems like he's looking pretty weak right now. But yeah, you never know, as Antal says. We can. Let's pray for the reverse sweep to happen. Okay, the very release heavy Elven map. If I recall correctly, um, Antalf is fairly inconsistent at Elven's. I have to double check that. Yeah, he's pretty inconsistent, so this is probably his just one that he might be able to take, since he's yeah, let's see. We're getting into the map. This is very release and control heavy, especially just two sections in general, the two choruses, so to speak. Vincent already finding a miss, but this map is fairly long, so he might just barely make it. Both players missing right now. And yeah, this is very tough map to get all the way through. Like to FC generally, these releases are very unintuitive and uncomfortable, especially. Both players are dropping a fair bit, but it seems like Antal is staying cool, level-headed, and Vincent just dropping Ack all over the place. And here comes the really hard release part. Like, it's pretty impossible to ratio these unless you're some kind of god, you're like a wonder or whoever. And now we're reaching the half point. Fairly easier part with just a bit of anchors here and there, and then comes a bit of a burst. Both, I think. Wait, no, that was not there. It's just a bug. But this could still go in anyone's favor. As I said, Antal finds a miss, which could mean that Vincent has a chance here if he managed to pull all the way through. He right now has at least a score combo just as he misses. Yeah, and Antal missing a lot right now. This can mean this is looking pretty good for Vincent if he managed to keep up. Misses there a bit, but this is gonna be enough. Yeah, I think that actually that was too much of a neck drop to really matter for Vincent, unfortunately. And now we're reaching the end. It looks like Antalf pulling off a pretty convincing victory. Fortunately, Vincent was a bit tired, so didn't really perform all that well. Means still putting up some impressive score, but Antalf with just generally more versatile and better at dense stuff, I'd say, which matters a lot in this map. Actually has more misses, but Vincent just dropping a bit too much. It could have been close. So GG, well played. Okay, that's it for me, I guess. Tune in for a next game, which is gonna be, what was it? It's gonna be Adrenaline versus ETTA on Sunday, 9 UTC. So yeah, I'm Sam.